Large SUVs are unexpectedly back in vogue. An 8-passenger capacity is the new 7-passenger capacity. The Ford Expedition is also back, new for 2018 after spending much of its second-generation, 10-year run from 2007 through 2017 as an unmarked, but still very obvious, police car. A few cars back in your rear-view mirror. Lest you find the standard Expedition a little snug on the inside, the Expedition Max is back to take things to the max, which often means taking half of a baseball team to away games in comfort and style. The Max model is a full 12 inches longer than the standard wheelbase version for a total of 221.9 inches of length, better expressed as 18.5 feet. First things first, the new Expedition is powered by a 3.5-liter V6 producing 375 HP and 470 lb-ft of torque, or 400 HP and 480 lb-ft of torque, depending on trim level, paired with a 10-speed automatic. A V8 is no longer on the menu, due to fuel economy considerations, but with 400 HP on tap in top trim, power isn't exactly in short supply. With or without the extra long wheelbase, those compact parking spots at the mall are out of the question, and many regular ones probably won't have much room to spare for the full length of the Expedition. And it's still very much an SUV with body-on-frame architecture. This isn't a crossover that's been stretched to resemble a Winnebago, which means a healthy dose of off-road ability given the available 4WD drivetrain. Ford has used plenty of aluminum, as in the F-150, to shed some weight, but the Expedition is still pretty heavy. The 4X2 Max model has a curb weight of 5,534, while the 4X4 version is heavier still at 5,794 pounds. The maximum towing capacity in the 4X4 model is 9,000 pounds, which in the standard Expedition paired with rear-wheel drive is a little better at 9,300 pounds, both important figures since a lot of these vehicles will be used for towing. The design of the 2018 model is a bit of departure over the outgoing model. The chrome-heavy fascia with a bright mesh pattern distinguishes itself from the 3 horizontal bars of the previous Gen Expedition, which used to conceal small strobes, looking closest to the current generation Ford Flex. It's a busy look that reminds me a bit of the first-gen Mercury Mountaineers of the 1990s, but this new grille design works well with the upscale nature and price of the new Expedition. Out back, the tail lights are nothing short of gigantic, adopting a more truck-like appearance, but their size, along with the 22-inch wheels, permits the Expedition Max to hide its size to some extent, at least in photos. If everything is proportionally larger, then nothing really stands out as oversized. The thinking probably went. A large horizontal chrome strip runs along the midsection of the tailgate, adding yet another truck-like visual cue. Overall, Ford used a number of design elements to visually break up large sections of the SUV that would otherwise look slabby and featureless, so tail lights the size of large paper grocery bags do have a purpose. On the road, the Expedition Max hides its size pretty well. Takeoff is lively and light steering helps the SUV navigate in tight quarters, also known as all quarters when driving this model. Steering feel is nicely balanced and feels more precise than on some of its competitors, with modest slack on center and communicative enough feedback. In short, if you drive over a smaller car you'll feel it, which is more than I can say for some of its competitors that have opted to offer excessively mushy or wooden setups. Most impressively, the steering is lively and well weighted enough for nuance in tight quarters, which a quality that has been absent from most of the recent entries in this segment. On the highway, the Expedition Max floats a bit and shifts its weight around, but not in an objectionable manner. Likewise, nose-diving even during moderate braking is pretty pronounced, even though acceleration with the 10-speed automatic is a drama-free affair. The V6 doesn't rev itself silly as I give the accelerator a healthy punch, but at the same time I can feel that it's not a deep and rumbling V8 underhood. Engine noise is moderate, assisted by generous helping of insulation, but even at moderate speeds the engine stays pretty quiet. Wind noise is on the moderate side as well, given just how much of the Expedition is out there to battle atmospheric forces, but overall the cabin is quiet enough not to have to really blare the radio over the various sounds during highway travel. The interior is what the Expedition Max is all about, and aside from a few cheap plastics here and there, the cabin offers a premium look and feel. Second row legroom is generous, but more importantly, third row legroom is not objectionable. In this long wheelbase version, the third row is fully usable. The second row slides and tips forward, offering minivan-like convenience and a tall enough roof to make movement for adults free of indignities. The generous room for all three rows doesn't rob cargo space out back. There's still some room for that, leaving space for the sports bags of whatever team you'll be hauling in this expedition. The mostly tidy road manners are a pleasant surprise in this class of dreadnought, but the Expedition now faces serious headwinds after losing a lot of ground to the competition over the past decade. Overall, the base Expedition is a credible alternative to the much more omnipresent Suburban/Yukon duo, which seems to have held a grasp on this segment better than Ford. When it comes to the Expedition Platinum Max, however, the math starts to degrade a bit the further north you head on the list of options, which is how the Expedition Platinum Max 4x4 that I drove added up to north of $80,000. A large, hulking SUV optioned around $80,000 won't surprise anyone these days, but at the same time this is well within Lincoln Navigator territory,